Thank you very much for putting this important point up for the plenary debate today. And I believe this is a testimony of how important the common agriculture policy is for this House. And I can reassure you that it is equally important for the European Commission. The CAP is one of our oldest policies at the heart of the European project. In December 1964, Siggo Mansholt stated, the governments, the member countries burnt the individual boats in which they have sailed home to the harbours of national agricultural policy. Henceforth, there's only a common policy, a policy of European solidarity. And this statement is as relevant as it was 60 years ago. The CAP is a true common policy, a policy of solidarity, an anchor of European food sovereignty and an integral part of European integration. While in the 1960s we were rebuilding our continent after the devastation of the war, we are now building a stronger Europe that can withstand the multiple challenges it is facing. The security architecture that we relied on for decades can no longer be taken for granted. Russia's unprovoked aggression has brought war back to our continent. And extreme weather events are more and more frequent due to climate change. And the new normal is anything but normal. And therefore our future budget and our policies must keep pace with that changing world. Yet, if the changing geopolitical realities teach us one thing, it is the strategic importance of food production. And you cannot build a strong continent on an empty stomach, ladies and gentlemen. And this was the driving force behind Mansholt's policy and is just as relevant today. And therefore, as the Commission President stated, in our next budget there will be a central place for cohesion policy and the common agriculture policy. Our regions and our farmers will always be at the heart of the Union. And the Commission fully acknowledges that the CAP plays a pivotal and strategic role in maintaining Europe's food sovereignty at all times and in particular in the current challenging geopolitical setting. At the same time, thanks to our farmers, the EU is also a major exporter of food, contributing to global food security. Our farmers and rural areas feel the increasing pressure from the impacts of global uncertainties and climate change to the major challenge of generational renewal. And at the same time, they are, as custodians of their land, making great efforts to contribute to our environmental and climate objectives, while ensuring also food security. The Commission's communication, The Road to the Next Multi-Annual Financial Framework, clearly puts food security among the key priority areas for funding in the future MFF. But our CAP must be modernised and better adapted to today's challenges. We need a common agriculture policy that is fit for purpose and better targeted, enhances environmental and social outcomes and fosters thriving rural areas. For this, we have over time built a policy with a coherent toolbox that helps provide a fair income for farmers, safe and affordable food for consumers, and respect for the environment we work in. I fully agree that we need to maintain this coherent toolbox and the commonness and integrity of the common agriculture policy. And I want to reassure you we are working in this direction. And while we should build our future based on our past successes, we need a CAP that is simpler and finds the right balance between incentives, investment and regulation, and must ensure that farmers have a fair and sufficient income. With the simplification package, we have charted the way for the future CAP by streamlining overlapping requirements and prioritising incentives, building on the current eco schemes and agri-environmental measures, while reducing red tape for our farmers and administrations. And we intend as well to continue on this path. And I hope that this Parliament will soon have a common position on that simplification package in order to deliver for our farmers already for the next calendar year. This will be crucial that they feel that our efforts are felt on the farm as well. And we will also make sure our policy is better targeted, in particular towards the farmers that actively farm and contribute to our food security and the preservation of the environment. And we must improve also the fairness in the distribution of funds. Our tools have to deliver the most disadvantaged sectors and regions, and we have many regions in the EU that depend on livestock as the only source of income, and the added value the EU can bring to these regions is real and is tangible. And without agriculture activity, land abandonment will cause demographic, environmental and societal problems. In certain regions, we would even have a security problem on top. Look at our eastern rear border regions, which I visited, the Baltics and Finland, with a common border to Russia, and I have to say, without agriculture and forestry, there would not be much economic activity and human presence left, and that would represent a huge weakness to us. And in this sense, these freedom farmers greatly contribute to the EU's line of defence. And I would also like to emphasise the crucial role that cohesion policy plays in strengthening our rural areas and regions. Investments in local infrastructure, transport, clean energy, SMEs, broadband, health and education enhance economic and societal cohesion. And this is of growing importance in the context of ensuring the right to stay for all in the place they call home, by supporting what a community needs. Furthermore, the mid-term review of cohesion policy provides incentives and flexibilities for objectives such as water resilience, housing, energy transition and greater competitiveness and innovation. And it also provides specific incentives to eastern border regions which face the dual challenge of increasing security and relaunching their economies. And furthermore, with the rising uncertainties due to climate and geopolitical impacts, the EU must continue ensuring an adequate safety net for our farmers in form of a risk and crisis management, and a true unity safety net to alleviate the pressure and de-risk the operations of our farmers and food industry. Honourable members, these elements must, in my view, be recognised when we shape our policy, our future policy, and spend as well the future budget while we are building on the success of the CAP, and this has brought us up here till today. And how exactly to do that will be subject of the discussion with the co-legislators, with you, and therefore I look forward as well to hearing your views. In conclusion, I believe that the new financial framework presents an opportunity to build on the current CAP and to strengthen our policy response to achieve competitiveness, resilience, innovation and sustainability objectives in a more effective manner, while also ensuring that solutions are designed taking into account local specificities and sectorial challenges. And finally, I would like to thank as well especially the Agriculture Committee for accelerating its work on the own initiative report by Mrs. Crespo. This will allow me as well to take on board the main points and the main requests of this House when it comes to designing the future of our common agriculture policy, and that is how it has to be. And I would like to thank you as well for that very valuable contribution. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Commissioner, for this.